Surrender your fires to the true air. Let him grant death to the old gods of Lordran, deliverers of the first flame.
Hello, it's your boy Artillery Wolf, back with you for another video, but a different video nonetheless. Dark Souls 3. I am actually not so ashamed to tell that this is the first time that I've beaten this game. This is my first complete run through with one solid character with a solid build, where I hadn't messed up my stats in some way where I couldn't progress, where I wasn't unsure of my sight into the way of going. I remember playing this game younger when it first came out. I had pre-ordered it thinking it was gonna be like Skyrim, and I was taught so wrong. But as I would get smacked to the ground, every time I would hit a platform in one level or another where I couldn't proceed because of my own failings. Right now you're seeing bosses that I've defeated, not in chronological order, but just placed in here because it's something else for me. The ending of this game is sad, in my opinion. It was such a great point in my life. It was such a big part of the games that I fell in love with. This really kicked off the medieval love for games that I have. The genre of a Soulsborne game, I hadn't fully understand it until first playing this game. You see me defeat the bosses, you see the PlayStation trophies pop up, and the reason I decided to leave them in there is not because I'm lazy on the editing, even though I am, but because they are trophies to me. These are bosses that some I hadn't even hoped to touch at one point, but now I have. Some of these bosses I defeated in the first try. Although I would get my butt handed to me every time I played this game, it never made me hate it. It always made me feel like I just wasn't good enough at the situations. But in turn, it was all about rethinking. And that's why I love this game. Everything about this game makes you think. I've cut the audio out in this part because I listen to podcasts when I play Dark Souls. It's my favorite thing to do, to play Dark Souls and listen to podcasts. Dark Souls 3 was my first introduction into the Soulsborne games. Afterwards, I played Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2 and 1, Demon Souls, all of which I beat before this game. Bloodborne was probably the hardest, and to me is still the hardest. It's probably my least favorite out of the genre, but I still see it as a masterpiece of a game. Even though I have my favorites, and there's some that I like less than others, I don't believe that there's any of the Souls games that wouldn't need to exist. Each one isn't played the same exact way. I mean, from watching my Elden Ring videos, you know that. I gave Elden Ring the title of my favorite game of all times, but this is probably my most beloved game. Because this game is a Mount Everest for me. It was a game that I couldn't beat. something that would always just sit in my library and look at me. I would delete it for a period of time and then re-download it. I've left the audio in this fight because this fight, it means something. This is the final boss, and as the final boss, it is deserving of that title. It's deserving of the listening to the fight. It's deserving of the grandiose attack of it. And yes, I'm using the summons, but for a different reason than you'd think. On one side, I've got a follower of the dark side, one of my followers, because I'm doing what I feel is the truth. Putting the flame to rest. Retiring. Letting a new age start. Age of the darkness. On the other side is my priestess. She's light. The flame is everything. Miracles. Two opposing sides fighting for relatively the same cause, so that there's new beginnings at the end. The flame needed to die a long time ago, but people like us played the games before it, and beat them, and linked the flame, kept it from dying. Now, it's time to put it to rest. It's just withering. It's not even a flame anymore. It's more of an ember. Something that a stiff wind can blow out. As the first in Elden Ring 1, when you would light the flame, the warmth that would probably emit from it is now something you would have to come beside just to feel it. The ending of this that you're gonna hear without me talking over it is probably the best ending I have ever had to any video game I have ever played. And that's even with Elden Ring being my most favorite. This game is greater, and this ending is better, and it will probably hold my outro for all the rest of my ending videos until I find something that hits me harder. The chills that I got from this. So without further ado, remember to stay wild, stay free, stay healthy. See you guys in the next one. Catch you later.
Gracious Lord, make Londor whole.
The Lord of Londor. Like I said, this will hold probably for the rest of my YouTube career. On all of my edits is the outro, the fading into the darkness, and then the rebirth of the cycle again. This holds a little more chills to it than it did the first time I played this game, unknowing of what was ahead of me or what to see. The reborn, ready to come back and tackle it a different way. For the last time, I'll see you guys later. Real emotional game for me. Moment, funnily enough. Bye.